Harushi did not have time to work on anything this week.
Yes.
But you finished most of the W3 schools tutorial, looking into starting the challenge.
Yeah, I finished like all the basic ones. Let me pull it up just so I know like which ones I finished. I finished like all the basic ones up until, so everything from like Booleans to like I don't know what JSON is, but like that's where like around where I stopped.
Okay.
Or, like functions and arrays and stuff. Like I figured that stuff out.
JSON is a data format. It stands for JavaScript Object Notation, but it actually gets used in every programming language.
Mm-hmm.
It's very helpful. It's very helpful to understand for.
Yeah, I'll probably go back and finish those like last couple up on like the more complex topics.
Okay. You also mentioned getting your development environment set up. Did you try that?
I started downloading things. Like I used the terminal to get is it Homebrew? Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that, and then I got like Python on my computer, and then like I got confused, and then I just gave up because I'm like, I was like, I started putting the stuff in my terminal, and I was like, why wouldn't I just use VA Studio, right? That's what that's called. And so then I downloaded VA Studio, but then I just haven't opened it since then. That's all I did. I downloaded VA Studio.
Okay. Well, if if Homebrew installed without a hitch, and you're able to get Python installed that way, then you're really close. There's
Okay.
Yeah, you're really close on that. Mostly that environment. So those are the ones that sometimes are tricky. The place that people tend to get hung up the most is if they haven't updated their operating system in a while. And Apple is kind of annoying about wanting to force you to upgrade your operating system when you want to download anything that's programming related, although like absolutely zero reason why that's necessary, but they make you do it. All right, Andy started solo learn and was focused on strings and variables. And was using your own coding environment to get around the paywall, which I thought was genius. Thought you might plan on working on the converter challenge. What did you actually spend your week doing?
Yeah, I was pretty busy too, so unfortunately I didn't get to try any of those challenges, but I just did a couple more lessons in the past couple of days on solo learn. Let me see, I have to check what it. There was a lot of like just basic math, like exponents and string operations. But I don't know. I think I just need to put in a little bit more time because it's like I haven't really met anything too challenging yet. It's just trying to like get through all this basic stuff. But I think I've given up on free code camp just because I like that I can work on the solo learn. Like I can just like bust it out in like a couple minutes, like and do like part of a lesson or something in class or like in between classes. But
yeah, it is really super convenient that way.
Yeah, no, it's nice. But yeah, I also haven't set up my like environment. I've just been using Python. And I also, Johnny and I wanted to check with you today about what stuff to order because we wanted to do one of the little projects. So
cool.
I just was afraid to like order it without checking in.
Why don't you share your screen and show me what you're looking at?
All right. I'm actually looking at the beat glove that we were looking at.
Oh yeah, cool.
Sorry, I think I'm glitching a little bit. All right.
Are you at UREC?
Yeah, I am.
It's like, that looks like a climbing wall behind you.
I know. I didn't know. It kind of looks like I'm in a cave right now. Sorry. My computer's being very weird right now. I think it was, I just had a smart, or wait, no, not smart fun. Data fruit. So like it has a list, but I just wanted to see if you could look over it and like, I know some of the things are obviously optional.
Let's see. So the soldering iron, you can use, we have those around.
Okay.
I know that X Labs has some in the X Labs. I don't know if they have open lab hours, but usually they used to, and there were like times when you could go in and you could ask somebody and they could show you how to use it if you'd never used a soldering iron. They have, yeah, so X Labs has soldering iron, and the helping hands, or what they're calling the third hand tool, is basically like flexible arms with pinchers that you can use to hold the things that you're soldering so you don't burn yourself.
Okay.
Heat shrink tubing. Heat shrink tubing is nice to have. And it's usually pretty cheap. Like you can get it at a hardware store for like probably $1 or $2.
Okay.
Wire strippers and pliers, they have those at the X Labs. You don't really need flush diagonal cutters. It basically, it's just like, it's easier to solder a wire in a hole if it's a little bit longer than it needs to be, and then you use the flush cutters to cut it off after.
Okay.
Heat gun is used for shrinking the heat shrink tubing. So heat shrink tubing is what it sounds like. It's like a little plastic tube that you put over the bit of at the end of the wire that's exposed, and then when you heat it up, it shrinks and it just insulates. And you could use electrical tape, you could use hot glue, like basically anything that will prevent there from being like exposed wire that has got current running through it. Which for something like this, like you're talking about something that runs on a little battery, it's not going to be enough electricity. There's not going to be enough juice in it to hurt you if you touched it. It's just mostly for aesthetics, I would think. And so,
I guess
to shrink the heat shrink tubing, you can use a lighter. Heat gun, painter's tape or masking tape, sewing needle and thread. Yeah, you'll need those for sewing, and scissors. So you'll definitely want the Flora, the piezos, USB mini B cable. What is a mini B cable?
Do you want me to click on it? See what it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I have one of those.
You probably have a ton of them sitting around. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Yeah. I guess I was more just thinking of like what I need to buy from them.
Yeah.
Not, like, Because I know a lot of
Probably-
stuff I can just get in person places.
Yeah, probably just the stuff at the top of the list. So the
Okay.
now they don't have a battery on here. What powers the what is it connected to on the other end? Is it like
I don't know. Oh, was it just like, is that what the USB was for? Was it just plugged in while they're using it?
well the let me look. So you've got piezo's. Because the Flora has the controller on it. And then there's the coding section. Yeah, the USB is what plugs it into the battery.
Okay, so like I could just plug it into a portable charger because like I
Yeah,
have
I
like
mean,
a
if you've
USB.
got like a USB charger, should work fine.
All right.
Does
So
it
it's
have
not portable.
so
I
what?
guess.
So what does it do? What is the USB will plug in? Oh, maybe the glove gets plugged into a computer. I'm trying to like, what is the
Oh, well, I remember in the video they said like hook it up to like whatever software, like GarageBand or whatever.
right? Because
So-
there's no speakers here.
Oh, I wasn't thinking about that. Hmm. I guess yeah, it's less cool, but it's still cool.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like if it's the kind of thing that you could like plug it into a phone. I know I have a S21 Galaxy
Mhm.
Note S21 or something. I know that you can like charge one phone from this one, another phone from this one.
Oh.
I guess it's theoretically possible that you could. It'd probably be a bit more challenging, but it's theoretically possible to be able to plug a phone in, use the phone for both battery and speaker and like audio software.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't really looked into the like what I would need to do for like an audio software, but it sounded like you could do like anything. Really.
Yeah, seriously. I would definitely go back and read the last bit about like what you do with the code and then what you plug it into and how you get the sound out of it, just to make sure that there's not like a whole bunch of stuff that they didn't talk about for building it that you're going to need to actually make it work.
Okay. All right. Cool. Sounds good.
Awesome. Yeah, it makes me want to build something. I wish I had time to build something. I've been doing a lot of 3D modeling. I actually got myself I have all the pieces, most of the pieces for a new computer, and I'm modding the case. So that's probably going to take me a few more months. Drives me nuts because I've got like nice, I splurged. I bought really nice components and they're just sitting in a box.
Yeah.
Did you buy
Yeah,
everything seriously overpriced?
Not all of it. The graphics card was just stupid expensive. Though, yeah, I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited, but processor I got at market price and it basically reasonable. I got it at MSRP. Memory, I think I got a pretty decent deal on. I got a really good deal on the power supply. Probably
I
did
don't know
okay
why I
on.
asked, because the only thing I
Yeah.
know about is graphics cards, because like my boyfriend built his own computer and
Yeah.
he like wants to rebuild it, but he works at Best Buy, so he knows when their new graphic card shipments are coming in. And so like he'll buy them and then resell them, like because he's like, oh yeah, like the market's so inflated right now. So I'm like, oh my
so
god, imagine
everybody
building your
hates
computer.
him. He's a scalper.
Yeah, and he's like, I can only buy one though for each shipment. Like that's the limit Best Buy sets for him. But I'm like, good for you. And he's like, maybe I'll just save this and build a new computer. And I'm like, nope, you
One
can't
per
afford that.
shipment. Best Buy is the only retailer that sells them at MSRP, which is like every place else they're marked up like 100%. So
Yeah.
what should be a $700 or $800 graphics card is like easily $1,500, $1,600, $1,700.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just,
He bought one that was like, I think like 2,200.
yeah.
It was like one of the nicer ones, but then like he was able to sell it for like a $500 profit.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah, and I was like, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's a bad market for graphics cards these days.
Yeah.
But, I mean, most of the components are actually pretty expensive right now. And supplies have been really bad. I mean, during the pandemic, everybody stayed at home all the time, and lots of people were working from home, so you couldn't get webcams, you couldn't get like any of the stuff that you need to supply a home office, basically. And then all of the manufacturing and supply chain logistics were totally screwed up. So shipping was hard and expensive. And so, yeah. But yeah, I've been collecting pieces slowly. And my plan is like, I've got this, it's in pieces right now, but this is my case, and I'm gonna do an all white interior, like everything white, and I'm getting UV reactive paint, and I'm gonna do it with black lights and make the inside all glow. But
I support the all white because like my boyfriend has one that's like all black, but then like his like RGB, right? RGB light things are like rainbow, and I'm like, honestly, it's not that cute to me. But like, I'll report back to him about what you're doing, and then he'll report back to me about what he wants to do for his next one. I'll bring that to next week's meeting.
there you go. Yeah, unicorn vomit is what people call the RGB if you just leave it on the default like that.
I think he has them sometimes changed to like specific colors. Like I think last time I went over it was red because like his keyboard's got like red, like the lighting red, but I don't really know. I don't understand computers.
Yeah, it's an expensive hobby to acquire, but a fun one. And if you work at Best Buy, it's a decent place. Like, he's really, really, really lucky to be able to buy graphics cards, like multiple of them. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Most people, like, I seriously, I was dead set. I was not going to pay scalpers prices. I was not going to pay like pay for an outrageously marked up card. And AMD would have basically like a lottery every Thursday at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, you'd have to go there and like type your email address in and like hit enter and try to get in line. And then like the first 5 people at the front of the line would get to buy a card.
Oh my God. Should have told me. I would have hooked you up. I'd have
Yeah.
been like, why don't you get a graphics card? The one that was really expensive.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's well, they're coming out with new ones later this year, and they're supposed to be, I mean, the next generation is always supposed to be insane, but they're supposed to be
Yeah.
insane. Yeah. So hopefully it'll end soon. All right, folks. Well, this has been fun. Ping me if you get stuck on anything or have questions, and I'll see you tomorrow and again next week.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a good one.